South Africa, the southernmost country on the African continent. Don't let its beauty and its air of progress deceive you. It has a great need for God. For 30 years, I've appreciated the love for flowers the early Dutch settlers passed on to their descendants. I have looked with awe at the mining scenes initiated by the English. But as I've walked the streets of Johannesburg, where approximately 1.5 million blacks and whites jostle one another, I have sensed the land's great need for God. Mohammed, I greet a friend in Afrikaans, but his answer is likely to be shallow, for today's South African is hesitant to confess the apprehension he feels in his heart. Not only are traditional lifestyles threatened, but even his theology is receiving a jolt. Older people usually consider themselves to be Christian and on their way to heaven, but their church has shifted its position on so many issues they are confused. Younger ones are frightened of the future. I long to see them all discover that their great need can be met by surrendering their personal lives to Christ. In 1960, Wesleyan World Mission sent me to a Wesleyan Evangelical Seminary, or WES, in Brakpan near Johannesburg. I helped to train leaders to address the great need people have for God. On my first night in the country, I was taken to a service where a recent graduate had gathered about 50 young people. Today, that young man has grown into the mature pastor of a church. That church has planted 2 daughter churches in the Pretoria area. At Wesleyan Evangelical Seminary, I was expected to teach English and music, to organize the library, and, less to my liking, to cook the food. I found the dormitory contacts an excellent entrance into students' lives, however. One of them had an unusually compassionate heart. Today, he is our district superintendent. Another had a gift for Sunday school teaching. Today, she teaches Christian education at WES. Each one of these early products of WES is currently helping to meet South Africa's great need for God. As the years passed, South Africans themselves became the cooks. I was freed to concentrate on music, the library, and on teaching biblical literature. A few American missionary kids even began their college careers at WES. We played a part in training 3 Wesleyan missionaries who have returned to Southern Africa: Orr Lehman, Brenda, and Bob Bagley. Equally thrilling, our South African students also responded to the missionary appeal. WES is still training leaders to meet South Africa's great need for God. David Wright, a South African, has the potential for Spirit-anointed ministry. He is a brilliant computer networker. Last year, he yielded to the missions call both he and his wife have felt upon their hearts. With the encouragement of Principal Jim Ramsey and his wife Carol, David moved his family to our campus and began classes. It means commuting an hour both directions daily to Pretoria to work. Of course, David is concerned about South Africa's need for God. Though his days are extremely full, he witnesses to his workmates and teaches the youth Sunday school class at Brakpan Wesleyan, the nearest of our churches to the seminary. This is my home church, away from home. Long ago, American missionaries pastored our churches, but in 1990, all but one of our 13 congregations have national pastors. Linky van der Merwe came to pastor Brakpan's church after graduation from Wesleyan Evangelical Seminary. The church had dropped to about 10 in Sunday school. In desperation, the district administration agreed to try a woman pastor. Linky, who is of Afrikaans descent, added a unique background to her call. She had spent 15 years as a nursing sister, as RNs are called there. Further, she had taught young people to jump horses and studied horsemanship in England. The latter gave her a confidence with the English language that allowed her to study at Wes and preach at Brakpan Church in English. We tease her about her love for animals. Since she doesn't let her kitten out of the house, she's brought a tree inside the house for its amusement. If you can't beat it, join it. Located strategically between two retirement homes, Brakpan Church has a special ministry to the elderly. The sick are regularly visited. Some dear ones have been led to the Lord. Children, too, are very special. In 1989, I obtained permission to perform Kids Praise No. 2 with our Sunday school children. It was an enormous undertaking, stretching over 7 months. One parent contributed most of the 23 inner tubes which had to be decorated. Another parent constructed the foundation for the house, which the children could then erect in minutes during the performance. Afterward, they turned it into a Noah's Ark. We developed a parents' transportation team which helped us take it to other Wesleyan churches. One of those moms on the team was beautifully saved through her involvement with our musical. Brakpan is a predominantly Afrikaans-speaking community, but through the years the church has stubbornly chugged along in English. With an Afrikaans pastor, we have all been looking for ways of winning our Afrikaans neighbors. We now have an Afrikaans Sunday school class for children. At our 1989 local church conference, we voted to switch one morning worship service a month to Afrikaans. These things are gradually tying the Afrikaners who felt on the edge of the congregation into the core group, and giving us all an increased awareness of our responsibility to reach out into their community. You can reach out into mission communities as well. Your prayers are vital. Pray for me. I sometimes smile at an impossibility, confident that you are praying with me. You can give. My return to the field is linked to your giving. God may be tugging at your heart to invest your very life in His service. Pray. Give. Go. Together, we can help meet South Africa's great need for God.